From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I've been up for 3 nights at the motel under street lights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want. And you can call me names if you call me up. 3 nights at the motel under street lights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want. And you can call me names if you call me up.
It's Friday, October 26, 2018, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
Joining us from Nashville, Tennessee today, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everybody.
And I'll explain why in a second, but Annie F. Downs is not with us. Joining us all the way from Sydney, Australia for the show today, Adam Smith.
Hey, everybody.
Wow, that's quirky.
I like that. Cameron, before we get started, can I just say that I'm humiliated?
Why?
I thought this was the last episode before the Halloween. I thought this was our big spooktacular, and now I see it's not, and I'm the only one who's dressed up.
Jesse, a spooktacular is something that happens in your heart. You know, like you don't have to wait for a certain date. It's like, you know, Christmas lives in your heart year round.
The reason why Annie F. Downs is not joining us today is because she's down the road here in Orlando. She's here. She's here all week, actually, with a creative team from her church, and we had scheduled her to come in, obviously, and record live in the studio with us today, but we got the schedules mixed up, and the one day she was available to come in is the one day I was out of town on a movie set, and so we just couldn't make it all work, and so she's actually at Pandora at Animal Kingdom right now. She just sent a picture as we speak, so she misses the show. She will be on the next episode, though. So for our female listening audience, you can just hit stop now and just wait for the next episode.
I'm glad though that they're doing something fun on the retreat, because some retreats are like, you know, we go like camping or something, and like the purpose of a retreat is to like be mentally restored. But but like some people's idea of retreats, that doesn't work. Like, because I'm supposed to be less stressed out, and if I'm like camping or something, you know what I don't worry about in my day-to-day office is getting attacked by a bear. Like, I'm not that stressed.
Here's the deal. This is a little behind the scenes on their church's creative team's retreat. There's about 25 people on this trip. 25 people. I actually, we were able to connect on Sunday night when they were all coming in. So I went down there and saw, and she gave me the address, and I'm pulling up, not to a hotel. I'm pulling up to a track home suburban home near the tourist area, south of the tourist area. Literally, I've never seen a neighborhood like this. As far as the eye could see, every house was exactly the same.
Like
the exact same home. Okay. So I'm pulling up. It's like a 2-story. It looks like a 5-bedroom home. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice place for them to put up their speaker for the retreat. Look, wow, you guys are splurging. She goes, no, this is where everybody's staying. I go, no, that's not possible. That's a home. She goes, no, there's 27 of us staying in this house. She said, in my king bed, there are 3 full-grown women sleeping in this one bed. There are 27 people staying in a 5-bedroom home.
You know what's fun? You know, the funny thing about this is like they had never been there before, and all the houses do look the same. It was the wrong house. And when the homeowners got home, they found 8 people in the master bedroom just lying around. It was really weird and a big mix up.
They're squatting.
Big mix up.
And they apparently, while I was out of town yesterday, Annie and the whole team came up to the office, and John David gave them a tour, and they taught creative process. Apparently, it's really cool. I wasn't here, though.
Yeah, Tyler Daswick hit me up and asked. He said that several of these people are asking if there's a cot that they can sleep on because they have no room. The house is
There
full.
was a caravan of Christian creatives that have been marching slowly toward our office.
The publishing industry is falling on hard times. People just have to like former editors and writers just sort of wander around the country just in a giant wave of people. And they find whatever computer outlets they can, write for a little bit, and then back on the streets trying to find the next one.
Back to the king size bed.
Adam, I need your take on something, man.
You bet.
I don't know if you know this, but this evening, Cameron and I head to space camp. Did you know about this?
I did not.
So for the listener, you're listening to this after Jesse and I have returned from space camp. A little, theater of the mind.
Yeah.
We had to record this episode on Tuesday morning. It's the Friday episode. We had to record it this past Tuesday to, because we're leaving town. And
Yeah.
so, on this next episode, you will hear us post space camp. But yeah, Adam, tonight, Jesse and I are flying to Huntsville, Alabama to NASA astronaut training facilities to do adult space camp.
Yeah.
We were invited by Nat Geo. They're promoting the new season of their Mars series. And they said, hey, we're getting word out about the Mars series season 2. Do you want to go to space camp? Immediately, my answer was yes.
Yeah, he answered for me. And then I found out that we're staying in a house by NASA with 25 other journalists.
One thing, Jesse, that you're going to have to look out for at space camp is bears. So
Yeah, it's actually outside. It's literally
a big part of astronaut training is fending off bears.
Right. Because you don't know what you're going to encounter in the wild frontier of space.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
You have to be prepared for if old Star Trek episodes have taught me anything, it's that you're likely going to encounter some beast out there. But I don't, Cameron's never been in like a classroom setting with me, and because I picture a lot of this we're in the classroom, learn about space stuff.
No, Jesse, didn't you read the itinerary?
Yeah, and it has hours.
It was vague because we have a morning debrief, a morning, like they tell us about the day. That would be the classroom setting. And then it's 9 to 9, and it just says, space camp activities or whatever that they will not tell us about because we will learn about them in the morning briefing.
Oh.
Here's the deal. I'm kind of a bad boy. I'm kind of the class clown. Like to cut up, I like to slouch a little, send a message to teach up there, like you want my respect, you got to earn it. Adam, what do you advise my posture be going into space camp? Because I don't have the same level of enthusiasm as Cameron on this.
Well, look, I think, first of all, a little advice to whoever's teaching you in this
Quote
is
unquote,
if you want to win
teaching.
Jesse's respect, pull up a chair,
Yeah.
spin it around,
Uh-huh.
sit on it backwards
Yeah.
immediately, and just sit down. Like, you know what? I just want to rap with you.
Yeah.
Pal. Let's use rap a bit. And right there, you've earned not only his respect but his loyalty.
Yeah, that's right. Immediately. Like she takes the textbooks and she holds it up. She goes, turn to page and just throws it on the ground. I'm just kidding. Let's talk. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I can relate. I want to be the space
Like
bad
Robin
boy.
Williams, like standing up on the desk and like starts ripping out, like to open the page 1 of your science textbooks, rips it out, crumples it up, throws it on the ground. Page 2, same thing, rips it up. The astronaut going into space is about trusting your gut.
You tell me why I should respect you. You don't even know if Pluto's a planet. So you tell me, teacher, why I should respect you.
Yeah, your posture, Jesse, should be a kid from the streets, a tough kid who's got a tough exterior, but deep down a heart of gold. And I think that probably the very first thing you should do is stand up on a desk, salute the teacher, and say, "Oh, Captain, my captain."
See, I was thinking you were thinking like this was more of a space camp dangerous mind situation.
I'm mixing a few metaphors, to be fair.
Yeah. So yesterday, I was in Atlanta. I was invited up last second. I was invited to go up to this film that's being shot up there. They're shooting a movie called Just Mercy based on the book of the same name. It's the story of Brian Stevenson, who is a lawyer who's given his life toward racial injustice and getting people off of death row and kind of fighting the death penalty. And it's starring Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx. It was amazing, and it's being shot at this decommissioned prison, and the scenes that I saw were at this prison in Atlanta, and it was just unbelievably moving and just an incredible day. And so we're at lunch. Okay. And we're sitting there with the producers, and the director comes over, eating lunch with us and whatever. And Jesse, we're talking about justice, and we're talking about the story of Brian Stevenson.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's kind of like the America's Mandela. I mean, it's just an incredible thing that they're doing and creating, and the performances we saw, all this stuff. But then one of the guys with me on the trip goes, "Hey, tomorrow Cameron's going to space camp. And
the respect the director had from you instantly vanished.
no, dude, that took over the entire rest of the day. All they wanted to do, I mean, like during the shoot, when the producers come over, it's like, hey, you want to just switch? You want to produce a movie and I'll go to space camp tomorrow? Like they were fascinated with space camp. And they all were like kids of the 80s who wanted to go to space camp like me. And then I tell them about you and that you have no interest in it and that you're like too good for space camp and all this stuff. And they are aghast. I just want you to know these major Hollywood so-and-sos are aghast at your posture.
Cameron's going to be up there at the morning debriefing, you know, taking notes in his trapper keeper with all the rest of the nerds while I'm standing in the back vaping.
Yeah. Look, and let's be fair. Jesse has never been the darling of the Hollywood elite.
That's true. That is true. They do not understand you. The thing that I told them that is so funny about the fact that you are too good for space camp is the fact that you are also cripplingly motion sick. And
unrelated.
Unrelated. And I told them about our experience of Somaliland, how as we're traversing the terrain in Jeeps, how we had to pull over the caravan 3 or 4 times for Jesse.
The only reason is we got in that Jeep and I'm like, hey, how long is this drive? Because I was trying to decide if I need to take motion sickness medicine that also makes me tired. They're like, it's like 45 minutes. It was like 8 hours. It was literally an 8-hour drive through the desert.
Yeah.
So.
You made it about 12 minutes before we had to pull over. But anyway, and I'm going, so he's too good for space camp. But then when they're flinging us around the gyroscopes, we'll see who's the man then, you know.
I'm surprised. Yeah, Adam, you're right. First off, you know, I don't get along with the people out in Hollyweird. So
I think this could be you guys' opportunity to kind of have a never been kissed situation, because I'm kind of seeing it as a high school type setting where you both get to go back and have the opportunity to relive the glory days of being a teen again. And Jesse's kind of the David Arquette character where like you go back and you take to it like a fish to water. You're back in, and Cameron might be a little more of the Drew Barrymore where it takes a little while.
Yeah. At the end of camp, we take off his glasses and do a little makeover back at the hotel, and look who's strolling in, and it's Mr. Cool Guy all of a sudden.
I see it kind of the more like a 21 Jump Street situation where Cameron, Jesse goes in cocky and confident, but his material just doesn't play. But Cameron is immediately the cool kid in school.
Embraced by the space nerds.
That's right.
Because I appreciate for what it is. I appreciate it. My mom this morning was texting me. Today happens to be my son's birthday. And she was texting me about that. And I'm going to be with him this afternoon. We're going out, have fun. And then tonight, after he goes to bed, I'm flying to space camp. And so she was just like, oh, you're going out of town today? Da, 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 da. And I go, yeah, I'm going to space camp tonight. And she just goes, isn't that a little weird for someone your age? That was my mom's reply. And I'm like, Mom.
Yeah, I mentioned that over the weekend. She was kind of confused.
I was like, it's Nat Geo, and I wanted to go to space camp again. She goes, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was like, well, congratulations on a childhood dream coming true. Finally. Yeah. So thanks a lot, Mom. I have to go as a 42-year-old because you didn't let me go as a 10-year-old when it would have been age appropriate. Anyway,
I wouldn't be working these issues out now publicly.
Oh man! All right, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, the Brilliance joins us. They have a fantastic new album out, and can't wait for you to hear it.
Can we? I put something in the notes, Cameron. We didn't get a chance to meet about this, but someone sent us a piece of feedback. So Cameron, Adam, we had some artists come by the studio. They're called For King and Country, and they're
Australian. They are the national treasure of his homeland where he lives now.
Yeah, they have a new album. They performed, and after the performance, they're Australian and they speak with Australian accents. Annie, our other frequent host, Annie, said that there's a rumor in Nashville that there's a conspiracy that they're the Smallbone brothers, for one. Joel and Luke Smallbone. And there's a rumor that they exaggerate their thick Australian accents because Australian accents play so well in the Christian community.
Without Annie around to defend her, I want to say that this is not really a Nashville rumor so much as an Annie F. Downs rumor.
But they were at like an award show this past week, and they were interviewed, and someone recorded it and posted a small clip on Twitter. Adam, I'm wondering if you are in Sydney right now, correct?
Yes, I am.
I feel like you can get, you have, you're an expert on this. You encounter native Australian speakers all the time.
I've got an ear for it, I would say.
Chandler, can we play the clip and you have Adam tell if like they slipped into like a non-accent moment? It's very confusing.
Post Dove Awards, interview. And the conspiracy may be deeper than we thought based on this one clip alone.
Okay, before you play the clip, I just need to know this for context. They're the Smallbone brothers.
Yeah, Rebecca. Okay, do you remember Rebecca St. James?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Rebecca St. James was Rebecca Smallbone. Their family, mom and dad were the managers. Their family, they moved over to Nashville from Australia in the 90s because of her career, but there are 9 kids. There are 9 Smallbones.
For context, I just need to know, do they have tiny skeletons?
They are full-sized adults. In fact, the one that you're going to hear talking, the one you're going to hear talking is actually quite tall. Quite tall.
Okay,
He's,
so the name is deceiving, is what you're saying. Yeah, they actually have exoskeletons.
So what we're trying to decipher with an Australian accent expert, Adam Smith, is this post-Dove Awards interview done by Luke Smallbone, Joel's sitting right next to him. Is this an Australian accent?
Exaggerate.
Per your ear.
Oh, hold on. But before you play the clip, I have 2 quick things to add for context. First off, unrelated to the video clip, can we all agree that Smallbone is a much more marketable name than St. James? Rebecca St. James, she had a great career, but I would have stuck with Smallbone. Two is, what I heard, I've listened to this clip probably 15 times, and I see that the accent has disappeared and they tried to pull it like he forgot that he wasn't speaking in it and it slipped back in. It's very confusing because at the moment he realizes it, you'll hear it. He starts to sound like for a very brief moment, like Christopher Walken for some reason.
Okay. And I'll say that Rebecca Smallbone would have been a much more marketable name, but even better than that would have been Rebecca Enormous Shimmering Exoskeleton.
That's true. That's marketable.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hear the...
Because most of the time you're recording these Christmas songs not in the middle of winter, not when the snow is falling. It's usually hot.
That's the walking moment.
And ironically enough, the album was...
Okay, hold on. We're going to need to hear it one more time. Listen to when he goes, it's kind of hot. And he goes into walking mode, definitely. Which twists it, and he goes back into Australian. One more time, listen for the walking moment, and then listen for the accent.
Because most of the time you're recording these Christmas songs not in the middle of winter, not when the snow is falling. It's usually hot. And ironically enough, the album was...
Literally every bit of that sounded like Christopher Walken. There wasn't a single moment of that sounded like an Australian accent.
Well, they are. We know factually that they are Australian and were born there. They just moved over to the U.S. when they were like 8 or 9.
There's not even a hint of it. Every bit of that was Walken.
Based on what, the fake news media? Is that where we know it? Where we know? Where are we getting these stats from?
What the lamestream media says?
Based on their actual chronological age today and when their family moved to Nashville. That is how we know how old they were when they came over.
I will say that accents get weird when people when you have an accent and then you move somewhere else, they get weird. They don't sound... It
makes it even more weird when you were born somewhere, then you move somewhere, and then you are raised by Christopher Walken.
Exactly. Yep.
Very weird things
in
happen.
Australia. It's hot.
It's so hot. We're recording the Christmas album so hot.
Yeah, so there wasn't a millisecond of that sounded Australian.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of this one.
None of it sounded Australian to me either.
But I will say the Australian accent that most Americans associate with Australians is a tiny portion of the population that it would be like if someone over here assumed that all Americans spoke like someone from rural Alabama.
Right.
Well, Jesse, to be fair, that did not sound like him when he was just here, in our studio. Yeah. So, that's what did not sound Australian. It didn't sound like him, so I don't know. All right. Well, moving the show along, it's time for our weekly look back at what happened in culture and entertainment. It's time for... In Case You
missed it.
Hey, in case you missed it, this week it was announced Steph Curry will co-produce a faith-based movie with DeVon Franklin. The movie is called Breakthrough, and it's based on the book The Impossible, the miraculous story of a mother's faith and her child's resurrection. The book tells the true story of the author's 14-year-old son who fell through the ice of a lake and after being declared clinically dead and receiving prayer for days, eventually walked out of the hospital. In real life and in the book, the film's main character, John Smith, is a huge basketball fan. So the movie will star Chrissy Metz of This Is Us fame, and Topher Grace will play a pastor. Didn't see that coming for Topher Grace's career arc. Steph told The Hollywood Reporter, John's story is nothing short of incredible. It's a story about the power of prayer and perseverance, and one I immediately connected to. And DeVon said the story checks all the boxes: faith, true story, family, and sports. Earlier this year, Steph Curry announced the founding of Unanimous Media, which would focus on making faith-based films. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Unanimous team has been helping with the script and bringing the book to the big screen. Steph actually said, it's not about me hitting people over the head with a Bible and telling them they have to be a certain thing or think a certain way. He's wanting to just make faith-adjacent films, largely. Jesse, interestingly, yesterday, we're there for Just Mercy, and that evening, one of the guys that was on our trip was going to a screening of this film in Atlanta. It's apparently not just now being shot; it's like in final stages and getting. Oh wow! Yeah,
I guess
feedback.
he just recently signed on as kind of a production. Or it was just released that he's part of the production team.
Yeah, they were telling me the story really is this 15-year-old kid, fell through the ice and was underneath, or 14-year-old kid, he fell through the ice and was under the ice for 15 minutes. And when they found him, he was unresponsive, had no pulse. He was gone. They took him to the hospital, and his mom, came to see him and just cried out in prayer, God save my son. And breath came into his lungs, and he came back to life, has no brain damage, and is totally fine, and walked out of the hospital after being completely under the ice for 15 minutes.
I think even the production of this movie demonstrates the power of prayer, because Topher Grace found some work.
That was Carrie. This movie is based on like an amazing story. It brings together like DeVon Franklin, who we just hung out with in Catalyst, Steph Curry, like the biggest star in the world. But Cameron, reading and explaining it, the Topher Grace thing was the thing that you seem most surprised on. Not that the kid survived 15 minutes under the ice. Like, oh, Topher Grace is in this.
Yeah, believe me, no one is more surprised than Topher Grace, because he was sitting by his phone like, please God, please God, please God.
Please bring my career back to life. Hey, I got a call right then.
You all are behind. You all are way behind the 8 ball on this one. Topher Grace was in Black Klansman, a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah, he was.
2 months ago.
He played
David Duke.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
A white supremacist, but take the work you get.
Tyler, don't point out the flaws in our reasoning when we're taunting Topher Grace.
as one of America's diehard Topher Grace stans, somebody who follows his career, I got the Google alert set up. I will go when Topher Grace is in a movie. Tyler Huckabee's going to have a butt in the theater seat the opening night for that movie.
Do not encumber us with your facts, Tyler.
Yeah. Tyler makes the annual pilgrimage to TopherCon,
actually. Where we all dress up like Topher Grace. Unfortunately, none of us can remember what he looks like for sure, because it's been kind of a while.
You just dress vaguely 70s and, kind of show off. And
he was definitely in that 70s show.
Hey, in case you missed it, The Late Show updated literally every week. There's a Late Show in case you missed it.
FYI. If you want to skip it, we can. But this one, I know.
It's great.
The Bible. It's kind of on the nose.
They did, just like Stephen Colbert's, right? They're at the Venn diagram intersection of faith and culture all of a sudden. So The Late Show updated the 10 Commandments to account for Pat Robertson's statements about the death of a journalist. So I hate that we're shining a light on this, but the very old 700 Club host suggested that America shouldn't punish Saudi Arabia for the alleged torture and murder of journalist and American resident Jamal Khashoggi, because the country is paying the U.S. $100 billion for military weapons.
Wow.
He said, we've got an arms deal that everybody wanted a piece of. It'll be a lot of jobs, a lot of money come to our coffers. It's not something you want to blow up willy-nilly. which is crazy that a quote unquote faith leader is valuing money over life. But
I kind of miss the old days where when Relevant covered Pat Robertson, it was because he said something kind of sensible. Like those were the real hot slices where you read a Pat
been
Robertson
like
quote,
20 years.
Oh, that's not bad.
Or it was for his feats of leg strength.
Yeah. In the early days, the only time Pat Robertson appeared in our magazine was because of his incredible squat strength. Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't so much that he said something sensible. It was the rare times he said something not horrifying.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, he's not
sensible
all
is a
the
low
way.
bar. I understand that. But it wasn't like you'd read it and it didn't immediately make you want to like go vomit into a toilet. You'd read it. It's like, I guess that's not like a completely abhorrent belief. That's the noteworthy Pat Robertson that I want to be a part of.
Yeah, I only feel mildly queasy.
So the scene was dated 1450 BC, and in it, Moses appears before the Israelites, who reads the revised Ten Commandments. Here's a clip.
You've got $100 billion worth of arms sales, which is, that's one of those things.
But can we have somebody that's killing journalists that are U.S. residents is the question.
I know it's bad, but we've had all kinds of stuff, but you don't blow up an international alliance over one person. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Behold, God's children, the Lord has given me these laws of life, the Ten Commandments. There's a lot of good stuff in here. God's name in vain, honor parents, no graven images, blah, blah, blah. But I want to draw your attention to number 5. Thou shalt not kill. If you notice, there's an asterisk. That's because thou shalt not kill. Unless there's a lot of coinage on the table. I'm talking serious ducats, baby. Long green. And think of all the golden calves you could buy with that kind of scratch. If that be the case, then the big guy upstairs is more than willing to look the other way.
I like how Moses slipped into pirate. If that be the
Is it
case.
just me, or did I catch a hint of Christopher Walken in that Moses?
There's a little bit of walking.
Little Walken, little pirate, a little small bone.
A small bone. Did I catch a small bone in there? I see what he was going for. Really nailed the character.
Hey, in case you missed it this week, Kristen Bell spoke out about how Snow White sends the wrong message to kids about consent. She had an interview with People magazine, and she voices Anna in Disney's Frozen, obviously, as the mother of 2 young children. She told People, every time we close Snow White, I look at my girls and ask, don't you think it's weird that Snow White didn't ask the old witch why she needed to eat the apple or where she got that apple? I say, I would never take food from a stranger, would you? My kids are like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. She then talked about, maybe don't read the story to your kids, though. I don't know. She then talked about an essential plot point in which Snow White is drugged and can only be awoken by a kiss from a stranger. Don't you think it's weird that the prince kisses Snow White without her permission? Because you can't kiss someone if they're sleeping. Evidently, her thoughts caused some backlash among some Disney fans. But as she noted on Twitter, the comments also show how much value she places on teaching her children critical thinking skills. She said, I find the outrage annoying and misplaced. I'm a mom who wants my girls to possess critical thinking and ask a ton of questions. So that's what we do when we read books. There you go. It is weird. A lot of those early Disney movies are really weird.
Not
just
even the early ones. Like, my kids were watching the Beauty and the Beast remake, and I haven't seen it, but my son was telling me that Beast gets shot by, spoiler alert here, that the Beast gets shot by Gaston. I guess he's like the villain, I was like, I don't even know if I want, he's only 5. I don't know if I want him seeing, people shooting each other. But I will say this, I'm pretty sure Gaston is armed with a blunderbuss, which is the most hilarious way to shoot somebody. So I think it's okay.
The people on even on our site were kind of clowning on Kristen Bell for saying that. It's like, I don't know, I'm not a parent. You guys can weigh in on this more than I can. But isn't it a good idea to talk your kids through the stories you're reading to them about the good things and the bad things about it, especially some of these older archaic ones that may not necessarily, that may have some sort of problematic messages that are worth reevaluating in light of things we know today? That doesn't seem like a controversial thing to me.
I totally agree. I tend to just make offhand comments when reading to my daughter, like, And I can't say that they're always out of social awareness so much as the fact that I crave an audience, even if it's a 2.5-year-old. Like I'll be reading one of her Spot books, and it's Spot's dad's birthday, and they say, we're going to make your dad a cake. Chocolate is his favorite. And I always add, even though it's toxic to him, because he's a dog.
Oh, no. There's one fact we know about dogs. It's literally poison. The other thing that I've noticed about Disney.
Yeah, all these kids are going to go out and make chocolate cakes for their dogs. Yeah. That's
exactly.
terrible.
Well, and like tonight I read her a Beatrix Potter book, and it talked about how Benjamin Bunny married his cousin Flopsy. I'm like, well, that's weird. Their children are going to be all kinds of messed up.
But once you get past the incest, it's quite a charming little tale.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was thinking about after we posted this, because it did cause a little dust up, as Tyler you noted. I started thinking about how many Disney movies are about a murder, like a straight up murder. Like Bambi, murder. Like in Beauty and the Beast. Like there's always an adult dying, like Lion King, murder. I haven't seen a Pixar movie where a character gets violently murdered.
Disney movies are largely based on the adult characters dying off and the children having to overcome adversity. I mean, largely, and then also opioid addiction or like hallucinogenic drugs. I mean, that's the other thing that is big in Disney films. But
Walt Disney would sit down with his animators like, we want to make a heartwarming children's tale. So let's see. We'll start with murder.
And Cameron, to your point, about kind of teaching children to overcome adversity. I will say this: if I'm ever dying a stampede of hyenas, my children are well equipped to deal with that situation. Thanks to Lion King.
I do think that I'm a little frustrated and kind of irritated by Beauty and the Beast and its message that true love is better than being an awesome bear lion creature for the rest of your life. Like, what was the Beast's problem? Belle seems like a nice girl. Belle seems nice. I totally get the appeal there. But he was a super strong monster who had a castle of servants that also doubled as like household items. He had a pretty... As curses go, that's a pretty sick gig. And I'm not sure that's the message we should be teaching our young boys, that they should just give it up to the first girl that walks in the front door.
Hypothetically, if you're a child and you are bestowed superpowers and an awesome beast body, should you give it up for love? That's a question that I'm concerned about what we're sending here.
I'm not saying I know that I don't want to be one part of the PC, mamby-pamby, Disney's ruining our children epidemic. I don't want to come across that way. I'm just saying the Beast had a good thing going. And as soon as Belle walks in, he's like, I'm going to give all this away. All my cool servants, my super strong ability to defend myself and defend my household for, I don't know. She's nice. She's a nice girl.
So it's a Samson and Delilah thing.
I don't know.
And you have to think all those servants, once they're turned back into humans, were like, oh, wow, I was an anthropomorphic teapot who never aged. So I guess now I have my brittle human body back. Thanks for that.
It's like, okay, again, talking like I said, did they get to choose if they get to be a human who will be subjected to all of the illnesses that come with aging and just the tragedies of humanity, or an immortal wisecracking candlestick? I feel like you should at least have the choice.
You know what I didn't have to worry about when I was a talking clock? Smallpox.
You got to think about the stories you're teaching to your children.
Yeah, I don't know if I want them to make that decision. To be honest with you, should the situation ever arise, I don't know if I want them just making a rash decision. Yeah.
Don't you think it's weird that Beast gave up incredible powers for a girl? Just ask.
Don't you think it's weird that hilarious old pirate guns look like trumpets? Isn't that weird? The blunderbuss is just hilarious, isn't it, kids?
And all the female listeners are just pining for Annie to come back.
This is why we need Annie on the podcast. I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Well, if I can present the feminist point of view, ally, you're welcome. I would say, and look, this is probably well-worn territory, but it actually is weird that the message behind Beauty and the Beast is if a guy is terrible and flies into fits of rage and constantly angry and abusive towards you, just dig deep and you'll find that he has a heart of gold.
Right. Yeah. Don't leave the abusive relationship. Just,
exactly.
stick it out. Yeah. It really is.
Especially since you're forbidden to leave the abusive relationships because you're locked in a castle.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you have really no choice.
Since you've been abducted.
Kind of like The Little Mermaid, the message is strong women are dangerous.
Yeah. There's a lot. I feel like when you start to unpack these, I feel like this isn't a problem in Pixar. Mostly, like I said, they don't involve violent murders. But to each his own, I guess.
I wonder if Disney's going to have to relitigate some of these now that they're doing these live action remakes. They're having to, they had to do Beauty and the Beast again, which does have some really tough elements to it. You got Aladdin coming up here in the near future, Lion King, which seems less problematic because it's all animals. I don't know if they're going to, I feel like there's going to have to be some mighty careful, kind of dancing around some of the issues in the movies.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, they're having to rewrite their storytelling a little bit. Yeah. Hey, in case you missed it, this week, Rihanna reportedly turned down performing at the Super Bowl this year to support Colin Kaepernick. Sources close to the star told Us Weekly and Rolling Stone that she turned down the offer to perform because she doesn't agree with the NFL when it comes to the Kaepernick situation. The free agent quarterback is pursuing legal action against the league, saying owners have colluded to keep him off a roster after he launched league-wide demonstrations against racial injustice during the pregame national anthem. Maroon 5 is now scheduled to perform.
And we're all the poorer for it.
Oh man, what a depressing hire!
How long was their list before they got to Maroon 5? Were they above or below Matchbox 20 with Santana?
Maroon 5 had said no, it would have been Topher Grace.
Just a monologue.
Finally, this week, in case you missed it, author and theologian Eugene Peterson died at age 85. He was the author of The Message and has written more than 30 books and was one of the most respected Bible teachers in the world. Among his many fans was U2 frontman Bono, who actually sat down with him back in 2016 for a video where they discussed the power of the Psalms. Here's a clip.
So I think the Psalms are important because for some people, like me, at 12 years old, they showed me that imagination was a way to get inside the truth.
I remember the Psalms from the little Church of Ireland church.
Which one's Bono?
Child going. I remember thinking,
Bono just fell asleep in the middle of the question.
Except for The Lord is My Shepherd, which was a great tune. And I really like that. This is good. Words and melodies. They have this rawness, the brutal honesty of whether it's David or not. It doesn't matter. The psalmist is brutally honest about the explosive joy that he's feeling and the deep sorrow or confusion. And it's that sets the Psalms apart for me.
One of my favorite stories about them is I remember Bono when he started talking more about his personal faith. Obviously we were part of that trajectory in 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Message was the thing that he turned to that kind of helped reignite his connection to Scripture and to the Lord. And so he would talk publicly about The Message, and he would talk about the impact that Eugene Peterson had on his life. And I don't know how the story came out, but he was wanting to meet with Eugene Peterson and got word to Eugene Peterson. This is Bono. I mean, this is at the time the biggest person in the world, kind of. And they reached out to Eugene Peterson. Eugene Peterson's like, I don't know who that is, and no, didn't want to talk to him because he had never heard of Bono or U2 or anything.
What a flex! Obviously. What a flex, especially early 2000s Bono.
Yeah. The irony of all this is that Eugene Peterson was way more of a Depeche Mode fan.
That's.
Maybe I'd sit down with Bono if they hadn't sold out after Joshua Tree. Got into that. I don't think I can hang out with the guy who gave us the unforgettable fire.
How many times in that relationship do you think Eugene Peterson uttered the words, "Okay, calm down, Bono"?
The first thing he says, wait, so I'm just supposed to ignore discotheque? I don't know, Bono. Listen, I don't know. You just want me to pretend that didn't
I still
happen.
haven't forgiven you for the Pop Mart tour.
We'll talk the message after you issue a public apology for Vertigo, and not until then.
I'll sit down and talk Bible all day with you as soon as the Edge takes off that ridiculous hat. You're standing in a salt flat in the photo shoot. It's got to be 200 degrees out there, and he's wearing a beanie.
I was standing outside my office a couple weeks ago with some friends, and a guy walked by, and he was kind of a short, muscular guy with a goatee, and he was wearing a beanie. And I said, I got overwhelmed with enthusiasm for the joke, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's the Edge!" And we all laughed audibly, and he made eye contact with us.
No.
How badly did you feel?
This guy just walked by and saw three strangers laugh at him.
Oh,
I know.
A little tear formed in the corner of his eye. You're a bully. You're no better than the Beast.
Yeah.
Which means that if you just persevere,
you really have a heart of gold.
Did you feel bad or just like, well, that happened?
Yeah, I actually did feel really bad. I'm like, that guy's just going about his day, and he just saw three complete strangers laugh at him.
He goes, "My head gets cold easy, jerk."
All right, well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, the Brilliance join us.
I try to find joy, try to find ease. While I'm storm this is against the rain. Who is my pleading? The pain inside done me. Lord, I have tried, but holding it in. Both my hands were tied.
You're listening to Bad, Bad, Not Good and Little Dragon. The song is Tried. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Dominic Fike with 3 Nights. Well, this week's episode is brought to you by, look at this, a new sponsor, Amazon Prime. When you join Amazon Prime, in addition to fast free shipping, you also get access to thousands of movies and TV shows, including award-winning originals, all included with your membership and available to watch on Prime Video. Now, Amazon is launching Prime Video channels, where you can add and watch more than 100 premium and specialty channels, all on Amazon. No cable required. You only pay for the channels you want. This is game-changing for cord cutters. With Prime Video channels, you add channels a la carte to your Prime membership, and you can then watch them on Prime Video anytime, anywhere. It's the Prime benefit that lets you choose your channels. Prime members can subscribe to premium channels like Showtime, Stars, HBO, PBS Kids, Noggin, PBS Masterpiece, CBS All Access, plus over 100 more. No cable required. Well, right now you can start a free 7-day trial of over 100 channels by visiting tryprimechannels.com/relevant. tryprimechannels.com/relevant. I was just watching on Amazon Prime, honestly, I was watching that show they have with Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph, Forever. It's phenomenal, by the way. And that's just on Prime Video. That's not even one of the channels. I mean, obviously adding the HBO shows like Insecure and some of the others that we love, CBS All Access. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. And Adam, for you can add British and Australian channels now. If you love British and Australian shows and movies, like you definitely want to check out channels like PBS Masterpiece, BritBox, and Acorn TV. I mean, it's like you can do the whole globe of channels on Amazon Prime channels.
Over 100.
It's awesome.
100.
Remember, you can start a free 7-day trial of over 100 channels by visiting tryprimechannels.com/relevant. Go do it. Hey, by the way, if you like the show, go support our sponsors, because when you support our sponsors and go to that URL, it really helps the show. Tryprimechannels.com/relevant. Well, singer-songwriter duo The Brilliance is known for their intricately crafted brand of worship music. But on their latest project, The Dreamer Suite, they go in a new thematic direction, addressing the immigration crisis, DACA, and everyone's deep desire to find a place that can be a home. Made in partnership with the Christian humanitarian nonprofit World Relief, the album features guest musicians who are dreamers themselves and looks at how God calls us to all love our neighbor, no matter where they come from. Here's our conversation with The Brilliance's David Gungor.
Systems of belonging lock us in a cage. We fear those who are different, refuse to see their pain.
Every time that we would want to make the music that we were really passionate about, I feel like sometimes people they either want you to give language that they really connect with and not at all, so meaning hey man, really stick to Jesus, which is cool, but also for where we were at in our lives, we felt like, hey, one of the things that had evolved on our own story was creating music that those within our faith background and community would be able to wrestle with and enjoy, but also those who were not from that background, it didn't feel like an insider language. There's a guy named Mark Reddy. He kind of challenged us. And he's like, what do you guys want to do? What's your dream? If Brilliance could be anything, what would you do? I think there might have even been tears of just honest, raw, this is what our dream would be. And he just was like, do it. Let me help you do it. And so we started talking about different issues. And he had said, one of the things that World Relief was focusing on was things like initiatives for dreamers. And I knew somewhat about dreamers, but I didn't know that much. And the first thing he asked was, he's like, can I just introduce you to some different dreamers in New York, where you just go and meet them. And so we met with some different dreamers. And I think John and I were both really humbled and really kind of smacked in the face with, I'll give you an example. The first dreamer that we met with, his dream was to be an officer in the military. And he didn't know, he was in ROTC. He was his whole goal was I'm going to go to military. I'm going to go through college. I'm going to get, my officers, however you do that. And I'm probably butchering this right now of how you explain this, but he was so excited about it when he was applying to colleges. His mom, who at the time when he was in high school was working 2 different jobs, working during the day and during the night. She told him that he was an illegal immigrant, or not illegal, I shouldn't say that, undocumented. And he didn't even know his whole life until high school. And he was devastated. He was hurt. His story was he literally had to flee because of violence in Central America. His mom was getting out of a really gnarly situation. She was such a hardworking woman. His goal is to be an officer, and then his ultimate dream was to try to be a firefighter. And he talked about when he went to high school in Newark, and he talked about how when 9/11 happened, he saw everything that was going on, and he was so inspired. And so his whole dream was to serve the city that I live in and serve our military. And here we are, I'm half Puerto Rican, but I really, grew up identifying as I'm just a normal white kid from Wisconsin, and so is John. And here we are growing up in a Christian perspective where, we're pretty nonviolence, pacifist type people. However, really also respecting our military and knowing the cost of that. And I've never in like a million years thought John in the same boat, like, hey, you know what our dream is? To serve in the military. So it just kind of hit us in the face of like, this guy's dream is to serve America. And here we are, like pretty privileged dudes who create art, and we just are like, man, why do we get so existentially depressed about our lives when there are people who are in our proximity who have challenges that are much more, it's not that they're not existential, because I'm sure it deals with that, but they're real life. Like they're worried about jobs right now. They're worried about school right now, like the ability to put food on the table. What we learned and what was interesting was it wasn't a left-right issue, meaning like, oh, if you're a Democrat, you'll want a Dreamer solution, or if you're a Republican. In fact, like over 80% of America want a solution. And a lot of the people that were driving to come up with a solution the hardest were like Republican congressmen and senators. And so it's not a right or left issue. And it's something that, at least right now, it's really easy to go, that's such a sad thing, but it doesn't affect me. So I just go, oh, that's sad. And it just kind of goes out the window. So what our goal was, is we've been writing a lot of music. And the only reason why we kept going with music is because we would get these stories from people, especially when we were on the road, that oftentimes were really sad and like kind of pretty rough for us to hear, but it brought them a lot of hope. It was because of these narratives that we felt like, okay, this is kind of what keeps us going writing music. And so we want to make music based on stories of people that inspire us. And so we have these suites. The first suite is around dreamers, but the theme is really around not just DACA dreamers, but any traveler or anyone that's longing for a home. That can be a physical home, it can be a spiritual home, it can be whatever it is where you have that restless, like, I long to be home. So the idea of that is around what is your dream? The second suite is around, in our age of people, I feel like there's a lot of hyperbole about, specifically on lots of different sides of like, is this the end of the world? And I feel like, how do you speak to that in a hopeful way of looking back at history and where we're going forward as people, as humanity? And so the second suite is called, Is This the End of the World? And it deals with hope. And the third suite specifically deals with grief. And then the fourth suite being this one around the thing that we feel like tears us apart more than anything, which is social media.
That was the Brilliance. Stay tuned. Up next, your feedback.
Then you're left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'd be left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
At Duke Divinity School, we're the spiritual heart of a great research university located in Durham, North Carolina. Our vibrant community of students and faculty engaged in rigorous, collaborative scholarship and deep formation come from across the nation and around the world. Grounded in Christian scripture and theology, we are guided by our desire to embody a faithful witness in a changing world. We believe that being rooted in wisdom is the first step towards cultivating ministries that flourish, institutions that respond creatively, and designing communities to thrive. Comprehensive theological education is critical critical and necessary to answer the big questions and generate thoughtful leaders. In learning from our past while engaging with our present, Duke Divinity School's program equips students to serve in the church, academy, and the world of tomorrow. Are you ready to take the next step? Learn more at divinity.duke.edu.
You're listening to Post Malone and Sway Lee. It's the new song Sunflower from the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack. Okay, it's time for your feedback.
Okay, so do we not do slices on Fridays anymore?
No. The Friday episode has, in case you missed it, because you're looking back at the week, the Tuesday episode of the Relevant Podcast now has slices.
I get confused every time.
But you're only our guest today. Are you saying you came prepared with a slice?
I did come prepared.
All right, let's wedge it in here.
Tonight.
We want to give you your moment of slice glory before
bonus
we
slice?
do feedback.
Adam
we
slices,
got a bonus
Adam slice corner.
Yeah, a little bonus
Yeah,
slice.
well,
Australian slices.
Here's the great thing, guys. It's really just okay.
Oh, so a lot of attention on something like
I am on the edge of my seat.
It's pretty meh, but it's appropriate that it's pretty meh because it's about Nebraska.
I already know where this is going.
Hey, real quick, Adam, do you know where Tyler Huckabee hails from?
The great state of Nebraska.
Yeah,
Nebraska native,
the one and only.
Well, there you go. Literally the one and only. I've never met anyone else from Nebraska. I assume you're the only
Literally
one.
the only notable person ever to
You
come
said
from
the
there.
great state of Nebraska. I said the one and only great state of Nebraska. I wasn't saying there's only one.
Okay,
great
I thought you
person.
meant that Tyler was the one and only person from Nebraska. Which, honestly, if you told me that, if you edited the Wikipedia page to say that, I wouldn't question.
You know it's sort of a blasé state, no offense, Tyler, when the coolest thing they could come up with for a mascot was a corn husker.
Well, get it out of your systems. Everybody just let's have it.
Okay, so Nebraska has actually changed its tourism slogan. It has a new tourism campaign, and its new tourism slogan is Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone, right? So
that's not true.
Yes, Nebraska.
It's 100% legit.
Honestly, it's not for everyone. They've had a few. They've had a few in the past. America's Frontier, My Choice, Nebraska, The Good Life. But they decided they go the self-deprecating route, and they went with Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone. No. They're trying to shake things up because Nebraska consistently ranks as the least likely state tourists plan to visit. And I want you to think for a moment about all the states in our great union. Yeah. And think about the implications that Nebraska ranks last on that list. Because there are some terrible states.
I mean, Idaho has beautiful national parks. I mean, North Dakota.
Yeah,
I mean,
Northern
Dakota,
Idaho is stunning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In South Dakota, you got your Rushmores. North Dakota, I'm thinking, why would you go to North Dakota more than? I mean, like I would think Nebraska would be more likely than North Dakota.
Well, doesn't North Dakota? Where's Mount Rushmore?
South.
Oh, well,
South Dakota. Yeah,
I feel like there's just visiting a Dakota has some romance to it. You know.
Really? Yeah, well, I think people visit North Dakota because they're bad with geography, and they thought that Mount Rushmore was there. Yeah.
You know how many people right now from all over the world are aimlessly driving the roads of North Dakota looking for Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, North Dakota's state slogan is North Dakota Rushmore adjacent.
Well, at least they have Fargo. At least they have like a cool movie that everyone remembers. Like in fairness, Tyler, and I only say this because you're on the pod. I would not disparage Nebraska in such a way if we didn't have one of Nebraskan's sons on the pod. But Adam wouldn't hesitate. Like Adam would act as if Nebraska is a short, muscular dude wearing a beanie in the middle of summer. Like that's how he would treat.
But wait, okay, so Nebraska is directly in pretty much the middle of the country. I mean, you're below North and South Dakota. I mean, it's not like so it's crazy
dead
cold.
Center.
I mean, you're like above Kansas, right? You are to the west and adjacent to Iowa. Why would somebody prefer to go to Iowa over Nebraska? To me, I would say they're comparable. I mean,
I think it's luck of the draw at that point.
I will say I've come up with a few state slogans that I think could serve Nebraska better and get across the same message.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Oh, I'm all ears.
First is the simple and elegant Nebraska remember, we exist.
Right. I honestly, I'm looking at a map right now. It's way further south than I realized. I thought it was up near the Dakotas and stuff. I thought it was up there, but nope.
Yeah. Then there's Nebraska, mostly square.
Yeah. It's a kind of rectangly.
Yep. Nebraska, just passing through.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. If you're going from Kansas to Wyoming or the beauty of Montana, you're going to go right through Nebraska.
You've got to drive through there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've had to deal with my wife and I got each other's home state tattoos on our wrists.
Yeah.
That was like so she was born here in the great state of Tennessee, and I was born in Nebraska. So on her wrist, I have a Tennessee tattoo, and she has a Nebraska one. And of course, we live in Nashville, so people see my Tennessee tattoo, and it's kind of like it's not even really a talking point. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. He probably just likes living in Tennessee. And then they see hers, and it's like, oh, how are things in Colorado?
Is that Guam on your arm? The U.S. territory of Guam?
Yeah. Did you get a dustbuster tattooed on yourself?
Nebraska, a large field.
Nebraska. Yes, we have gas stations.
It is kind of funny. I'm looking at the U.S. interstate map. And there's an interstate that goes up the eastern border between Nebraska and Iowa. It goes north to south, right? There's only one U.S. interstate that dared even enter the state. It goes east to west, right down the middle. All the other states have multiple interstates that are crisscrossing their states. Nebraska has one. It's just kind of there's a road that goes through.
Nebraska, home to very average wildlife.
I mean, Lincoln seems like a nice town. I mean, I don't know.
That's where I'm from, and Lincoln and Omaha, like right there on the far eastern corner. They're like 1 hour apart, and they're both fun. You know, there's a lot to do there. I enjoy living and being in Lincoln and Omaha. I enjoy going back when I get the opportunity to. But once you go west of there, I mean, then you've got 10 straight hours of driving. That's just not. There's not a whole lot out there besides cornfields. There's just not.
Okay,
it's cornfields.
Adam, I got two more for you. Okay.
Okay.
Nebraska. We have a city that has a mail order steak company named after it. Pretty cool, huh? Omaha. There we go. And finally,
steaks. Yeah.
Nebraska. There's talk of an outlet mall coming.
Well, there you go. There's your bonus slice all the way from Sydney, Australia. That was good stuff. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Well, last week on the show, we got talking about Jesse's hometown that I call Loverland, Virginia. He actually lives in Virginia Beach. There is no place called Loverland. It's just it's the land for lovers. And so that's where I just started saying that. I don't know. But it got us talking about the things that our areas are known for. Jesse's area is known for loving and lovers. And my area in Florida is known for very strange redneck issues, and like just things happen, and we want to know your area. What is your area known for? What's the weird tradition that your town has? What's the draw, the thing that your hometown is known for? You guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you also posted on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here's a few of our favorites.
Nyan said this is a brag, which he said Cincinnati makes chili without beans. Then he gets personal with it. I didn't appreciate this. This is literally what the tweet says. Cincinnati makes chili without beans, and it's better than any chili your mother could ever hope to make. Whoa, coming out.
I take issue with that. I take issue with that because I've had since the Cincinnati chili, this famous Cincinnati chili, better than my mom could make. It's bogus. Okay, it's bad.
Pure garbage.
That's just meat juice, friend. That's meat juice. And don't ever talk about my mother again.
Exactly. That's just a wet, sloppy Joe.
It's a wet, sloppy Joe. It's a bowl of sloppy Joe.
My wife is from Cincinnati, so we go up there and she always wants to go to the Cincinnati chili place, Skyline or whatever you guys call it. I can't be bothered to remember the different types, the different brands of Cincinnati chili around. I just know they're all equally bad and equally worse than my mom's chili.
I really like this one. David, he says, in my hometown of Claremore, Oklahoma, the kids look forward to snow days so they can sled on Will Rogers Memorial, aka Grave.
Yeah.
Basically,
I heard about that.
Sled on Will Rogers' grave.
Yeah.
Apparently, kids in this town hate old-timey political commentary.
It's pretty metal, actually. That's kind of like
happy trails to you, Will Rogers.
Halloween-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, snow day. Let's go desecrate a grave.
After this, let's go over to Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Did you see on our Twitter replies, Jesse, did you see on our Twitter replies that somebody from Holmes County, Ohio was like, yeah, we're the biggest Amish population. And then somebody from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania was like, excuse me, we have now passed you. And they posted like census reports and stuff. And they started going back and forth about who's the most Amish area and who has the best Amish theater. You know,
you can't brag about that when you're on Twitter.
Yeah. I was going to say, I emailed a couple of people in the Amish community to see if they confirmed. No reply. So I don't know. It's no reply.
Yeah.
I got I got some personal. I got a direct message about the slice that I brought last time that helped inspire this conversation about the monster who lives, the Ogopogo monster who lives up in Canada there.
Yeah.
From a listener sent me a direct message who says that he actually lives in Kelowna on the lake there. He was driving over this morning while listening to the slice. That's a nice little bit of like divine, it's obviously like God wanted him to hear this at the right time. Yeah. And he says he's heard of sightings from reliable people and even read about it in the university. So I think once again, this cryptozoology, it's up there. Something's going on. The time is starting.
Okay, Lexi Schleigel, she says she comes from an area where we drop things on New Year's Eve. A lot of people do. I mean, they drop the ball in New York. She says, my county has the Yellow Breeches Creek, where Revolutionary War soldiers washed their bridges and it turned the pants yellow because of the sand. And so on New Year's Eve, her town drops large yellow pants at midnight, yellow breeches.
I hope they're not wearing the pants. It's like there's like a man in the middle of town who just drops his yellow pants.
Oh, that's funny.
This is Katharina from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Because winter is so long, we have one of the world's biggest malls, which boasts an indoor theme park and indoor water park. You can literally go on vacation in Edmonton and not leave the mall. That's not a vacation. That's terrible.
That's being held. Yeah. Ben Taylor Whitson said he's from Johnson City, Tennessee, and he has 2 facts.
Okay, hold on. I read this one and I was so disturbed and I really wanted to know the backs. Like I almost went down a Wikipedia rabbit hole to find out.
Oh my gosh, I'm just seeing this now.
Okay, so this Johnson City, Tennessee, where in 1916,
if you have children, fast forward because it's going to get real. Things are about to get real. This is history, though.
Disney movie territory here. So.
This is just. Hey, we just asked him, "What is your area known for?" So here's what he said. And I'm from Johnson City, Tennessee, where in 1916, a circus elephant named Mary attacked and killed one of its trainers. Terrible. The circus owner decided that Mary needed to be put down, so they held a public execution using a railroad crane to hang the elephant by the neck until it died.
Oh my!
That'll show her.
And then that'll tell all the other elephants, this is what's coming for you if you.
That's right. Let that be a lesson, elephants.
And then he said Johnson City is also picked up the name Little Chicago, which that's surprising. They're in Tennessee, Little Chicago, because it's where Al Capone used the town as his favorite hideout and ran all sorts of Prohibition era activities from Johnson City.
Ooh,
Tennessee.
Can I tell you an interesting one about a tiny town that I lived in as a child?
Yes.
A tiny town in Indiana, and it was about 45 minutes outside Chicago, and the Chicago Mafia used to dump their bodies there. And in fact, if you've seen the movie Casino, spoiler alert for like a 25-year-old movie, there's a scene where Joe Pesci and his brother are taken out to a cornfield. They're beaten with baseball bats and then they're buried alive. Right. That scene and those characters were based on real life mob informants named the Spilatro brothers, who were buried alive and unearthed not half a mile from my house.
Wow.
This podcast took a took a turn for the dark.
I was gonna say a lot of people have like interesting dark
Let's talk about
histories.
hanging elephants again. That'll cheer up the room.
All right, I kind of want to visit this one, Jesse. Maybe you and I can road trip to it. Kit Palmer said, my hometown in Claxton, Georgia is famous for two things, fruitcakes and rattlesnakes. So they have the world famous Claxton Fruitcake and annual Rattlesnake Roundup. The 52nd annual event is next year. So maybe we head out to the 52nd annual Claxton Fruitcake and Rattlesnake Roundup.
Oh,
Do you think they just decided on fruitcake because it rhymed with rattlesnake?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, a lot of cakes.
But they
would.
could have chosen any cake, and they chose the worst one. They're like, "Hey, we need something for the rattlesnake roundup. Any cake, chocolate cake, strawberry cake. No, we're cherry.
Red velvet.
We're gonna go fruit. Okay, I gotta address this. This doesn't have to do with the question, but I do feel like if people are offended by something that we say, let's air it out. Let's air it out. I went on a little bit. We all did a tangent against bathrobes and how they're very inappropriate.
Yeah. So
we talk.
Let's hang the elephant in the room, as it were.
Let's drag it out to Times Square, put some railroad ties high, and just hang it for everyone. It came up because my state slogan is "Virginia is for lovers," and I said that the official garment of the state, because it's for lovers, is a bathrobe, and how only weird perverts wear bathrobes. That's the reality. Unless you're fighting a cold, there's no reason to be in a bathrobe. Right. Brian said, I wear a bathrobe around the house all day, every day, and I feel attacked. Brian, I got news for you. You're on a watch list. Unfortunately, they track people like you who wear bathrobes around the house all day.
Last question of the week. This is a visual one. If you can find this tweet, go find it. Melanie Erickson says, I live near Banff, Alberta in Canada, and they have a merman in a museum. They have it available as a postcard, which I have on my freezer because it keeps me out of the ice cream. It's so creepy. It's this weird fish man skeleton thing, and it looks like it's really disgusting looking, but
it's like a bat. It's a taxidermied, like weird skeleton with a real fishtail.
It's like something you would see in a Ripley's Believe It or Not, But
I'm seeing kind of a shape of water type creature. Is in my head? Is that close enough?
No, it's like a full on fish bottom with a full on man top. It's like what's that half horse, half man thing?
Pegasus.
Centaur. It's like a centaur, but with a fish bottom, not a horse bottom.
This is an enlightening question of the week because there's a lot of places where the most interesting thing in town is that a man drops his yellow pants at midnight and they celebrate that.
Jim Pagato says Salem, Oregon, home of the first drive-through divorce. That's what they're known for. So this is where it all started. Chad Kellogg said, sometimes when I'm on a run in my community, I have to pause to allow cows to cross the road going from field to barn or vice versa, because his town, Holmes County, Ohio, is home of the world's largest Amish population. And he says, but we do have the interwebs. And it went from there. So because some very just, Lancaster residents were just very, no. It is not Holmes County. We have overtaken you.
So one of those places also not only wins for highest Amish population, but it also wins for fewest buttons per capita.
That's right. Jesse, this is crazy. I'm going deep in the replies. There's a bunch of them. Yeah. Ladnar Sor with like an umlaut. I mean, this is a very Norwegian name. I'm butchering it. Buckle up. There is an international cryptozoology museum in the fine city of Portland, Maine. The proprietor of the establishment exhibits the hard science needed to soften the judgments of the non-believers seen in the following photos.
And one of the photos is a Bigfoot, is a taxidermied Bigfoot.
And then there's on the wall, there's mounted a fur-bearing trout, a taxidermied Bigfoot, just a whole bunch of taxidermy stuff. I don't know if that counts as a museum.
I also really love to think about the proprietor just having a delightfully thick Maine accent. Got a Bigfoot for you here.
There's a little small bone.
Yeah.
That was a little small bone.
Yeah, you went a little walk in there. It's a person from Maine raised oddly, by Christopher Walken.
And the small bones. There's a lot more feedback where that came from. Go check it out. It's really funny. Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week. Hey.
All right, well, we're going to keep it in the geography field because this is obvious. What would your state's new slogan be? What should your state's new slogan be? Adam, what was the actual new Nebraska one?
It was, honestly, it's not for everyone.
Yeah, so along those veins. I can't believe that was really adopted.
The bar has been set.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's not for everyone. See if you can clear that.
What should your state's new slogan be?
Give us a couple. Give us a couple for each.
Oh, yeah. Give us some options to pull from. Let the city council vote on it. Yeah.
And if you live like in Canada or something, I'm sorry, you're disqualified.
So this is a very geocentric question of the week. All right. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your longer replies on today's podcast episode at relevantmagazine.com. Well, many thanks to the Brilliance for joining us. You can get their new album, The Dreamer Suite, now at patreon.com/thebrilliance. patreon.com/thebrilliance. You can also follow them on Twitter at Brilliance Music. Thanks also to our show's sponsor for making the episode possible. Remember, you can start a free 7-day trial of Amazon Prime Video channels and get over 100 channels by visiting tryprimechannels.com/relevant. Go there to that specific URL. It helps support the show. Check it out. Well, on that note, we will wrap things up. Adam, this was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for joining us all the way from Sydney. It was
you betcha.
We love having you on.
Yeah,
and for all of you who don't like the cryptozoology stuff and all of the state talk and all of the Disney bashing, Annie F. Downs will be here on Tuesday's show. Just so you
we
know.
promise we will not talk about publicly executing a circus animal next week. I can assure you.
It's not a promise. I don't feel comfortable signing that dotted line, Jesse. You never know.
Yeah, let's give ourselves some grace and say we won't talk about publicly executing the same circus animal.
That's right. Hey, the new issue of Relevant is out now. Go check it out. Johnny Swim's on the issue. This is the last week you can get the Johnny Swim issue, or the last week it's our current issue. Our new issue comes out next week, and we're going to tell you all about it on the next episode. Jesse, people have been going over to iTunes and leaving reviews of the show and rating it. You know, if you like the show, we love it when you go over to iTunes and give it 5 stars and leave us some feedback. If you don't like the show, keep it to yourself. But if you like the show, go over to iTunes. Jesse, what's the scuttlebutt? What's the buzz? What are people saying this week?
Okay, so I pulled 2 for this week, and I'm glad they put this was 5 stars because the rest of this review is very ambiguous. Because if they would have left 1 star, star, this review would have made sense as well. But they left 5. The review is titled "Beyond Words," so that could have been 1 star. And finally, the review itself, that was the title of the review. Again, think about this as a 1 star or 5 star. The review is just the John Tesh of podcasts.
No. That is prolific. He's an Adonis of a man.
No, that was a 5 star. So that's
it's not like they said the Topher Grace of podcasts.
That's true. This clearly was a 5-star reference, Jesse.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He left 5 stars. I'm just saying if it was 1 star, it could have gone that way. Okay, this is the most oddly specific review we've ever gotten. The most oddly specific. Okay, it's from Cole, who gave the show 5 stars, and this is what he said. Definitely worth listening to while you shave. How much hair does Cole have on his body? These shows are like an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half in. Oh, that was good. It kept me entertained during that chore of shaving.
Well, maybe he's a Bigfoot.
Yep. Called a Bigfoot.
Yeah, maybe he's a sheep shearer and just shears sheeps all day. And
Oh, that's true. That's what he's doing. He's a sheep shearer. He lives in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for the reviews. So if you like the show, go check it out. Hey, and if you like the show, you'll love our magazine. You can subscribe now at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe. There's a good deal going on, and it keeps the lights on.
We were going to put on we actually, Cameron, can we talk about the cover just real briefly?
Sure,
Is it too early?
Yeah, go for it.
There was a debate about the cover because we actually had 3 things that could have made it. We have a breakout star, Lauren Daigle, who's blowing up right now. We have a true Hollywood A-lister, Mark Wahlberg.
We're talking about his faith, not just like promoting a movie. He's like talking about his faith and everything.
Yeah, he gets very in depth about his faith. Right. And then there was the third option. Which
for the cover.
Was it was a little macabre, a little gruesome, but it was what happens to circus elephants when they get out of line. And it was so we were on the fence.
But that was like a choose your own adventure. It was like an if-then thing. You can kind of like skip around. We gave you all the different outcomes for your circus animals.
And they were all not good.
And that one had kind of an appeal to the kid audiences, like, ooh, fun elephant. But then it kind of goes off the rails.
Yeah, it took it dark. But either way, get the new issue because you can find out what made the cover. The circus elephant, Mark Wahlberg and Lauren Daigle.
And don't forget the big bone, small bone expose we did on the origin of the accents.
30 pages.
So. And if you've never picked up the magazine, you would probably expect that it features less circus animal murder than the podcast, but you'd be wrong.
You'd be wrong. All right.
You'd be dead wrong.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Gary.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Adam Smith.
All right. We will see you guys on Tuesday. Except you, Adam. We'll see you in
the company from me. But if you got everything and figured out like you say, don't waste a minute, don't wait a minute.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Names if you call me up. 3 nights at the motel under street lights in the city of palms. Call me what you want when you want if you want. And you can call me names if you call me up. I can't fix each and all your problems. I'm no good with names or faces. She sent me naked pictures from her neck down to the waist. I get my feelings involved.
Did I catch a small bone in there? Yeah.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.